Hey everybody, Steve here. I've spent my life in the company of superheroes. From the moment I picked up my first Spider-Man comic to the hours, months, years I've spent building the Evo Realm, my superhero universe novels. I've always believed that the superhero represents the highest expression of moral responsibility. But over the last decade, decade and a half, I've watched that ideal be systematically dismantled. Uh, we've gone through deconstruction of superheroes, um, where relatability has become an excuse for laziness, and moral ambiguity has become a shield for criticism. We've been told that heroes are just people with powers. Anybody who has a power can be a superhero. Uh, they should be able to walk away whenever they want, chase stats, mock the very mantle they wear. Well, I'm done with that. I am creating a new heroic age. Because I'm tired of waiting for Marvel and DC and everybody else to remember what a hero is. I'm tired of the junk drawer that the superhero fiction category has become. This doctrine that I created, it's my line in the sand. It's a return to sincerity, a commitment to the burden of power. It's a blueprint for a new era of storytelling where the hero stands because they must.
The doctrine of superhero fiction. Superhero fiction is defined not by spectacle, aesthetics, tone, or the mere presence of extraordinary ability. It is defined by obligation. The genre concerns individuals whose power binds them to an inescapable duty to the public. That duty reshapes society and imposes a permanent internal burden that cannot be set aside without moral failure. Where obligation, public covenant, and interior cost are absent, a work may feature superheroes in appearance, but it does not belong to the genre in structure. The doctrine of superhero fiction rests upon the following articles. Article 1. The inescapable mandate. A superhero cannot walk away. The defining trait of the superhero is the acceptance of a binding obligation to protect others. This obligation may be self-imposed, culturally inherited, or morally internalized, but it must be inescapable to the character. To abandon that responsibility when capable of fulfilling it constitutes a moral failure within the logic of the story. If a narrative remains structurally intact when the protagonist withdraws from their duty, it is not superhero fiction. Article 2. The public covenant. Power creates public obligation. In superhero fiction, extraordinary ability is never purely private. The existence of the superhero establishes a social contract between the powerful individual and the society that depends upon them. Institutions, governments, media, and citizens respond. They adapt, regulate, revere, resent, fear, or rely. But they do not remain unchanged. If power operates without civic consequence or public expectation, the narrative has departed from the genre. Article 3. Civic centrality. The world bends in response to the hero. A superhero is not a peripheral actor moving through events. The superhero is a civic force whose presence stabilizes the social order and whose absence creates measurable vulnerability. The scale of power is secondary to its structural necessity. The hero must be load-bearing within the world of the story. If removing the protagonist does not meaningfully alter the stability of society, the work does not meet the standards of the genre. Article 4. The interior burden. Superhero fiction is burden-driven, not spectacle-driven. Because the genre concerns permanent obligation, it must address the internal cost of carrying it. Fatigue, sensory strain, moral erosion, isolation, and the erosion of private identity are inherent consequences of being both extraordinary and responsible. Power must alter the hero's inner life. If the narrative treats power solely as a tactical or visual device, without exploring its psychological and moral weight, it abandons the core concerns of superhero fiction. Article 5. Adversarial proof. The adversary exists to test the durability of the covenant. In superhero fiction, the villain's primary function is to create public crisis severe enough to justify the hero's refusal to withdraw. Whether ideologically opposed or a destructive force, the adversary pressures the limits of the hero's obligation to the world. The conflict is civic before it is personal. The villain asks whether the hero will continue to hold the line. The genre answers that they must.